Have you ever wondered how fear and hysteria can lead a community to chaos and destruction? The Salem witch trials provide a chilling answer. In the late 17th century, in the towns of Salem Village and Salem Town, now present-day Danvers and Salem, a series of hearings and prosecutions shook the community to its core. The dominant religion, Puritanism, bred a fear that would serve as the catalyst for these trials. Now, let's delve into the terrifying events that unfolded in Salem. The spark that ignited the Salem witch trials was lit by two young girls. In the cold winter of 1692, Betty Paris and Abigail Williams, children of the village's minister, began to exhibit strange and unexplainable behaviors. They convulsed, made odd sounds, and claimed to be tormented by unseen forces. Frightened and confused, their community sought an explanation. The girls, perhaps influenced by the stories of witchcraft they had heard, pointed fingers at several local women. These women were seen as different as others and as such, easy targets for suspicion. This act, this declaration of witchcraft, set off a chain reaction that would reverberate throughout the town. Neighbors began to accuse neighbors, friends turned on friends, and even families were torn apart in the ensuing hysteria. As fear gripped the town, the accusations grew, ensnaring more than 200 people in its web. The Salem witch trials had begun, and their effects would be felt for generations to come. Those accused of witchcraft were a diverse group, united only by the community's fear and suspicion. Over 200 individuals found themselves at the center of this paranoia, swept up in the hysteria that gripped Salem. Men, women, and even children were among the accused, their only commonality being their perceived deviation from the rigid norms of Puritan society. The majority, however, were women, often those who dared to live outside the community's strict expectations. The trials themselves were a spectacle of fear-fueled proceedings. The accused were subjected to grueling interrogations and examinations, all in a desperate attempt to affirm their guilt or innocence. And what was this guilt determined by? Not by solid evidence or credible witnesses, but by spectral evidence, claims of seeing the accused in the form of a spectre or apparition. This reliance on intangible and subjective evidence made it nearly impossible for the accused to defend themselves. Moreover, confessions played a significant role in these trials. The testimony of other accused individuals was considered concrete proof, putting the fate of many in the hands of those desperate to save themselves. This created a vicious cycle of accusations, where one person's confession could lead to the downfall of many. Caught in the grip of this mass hysteria, the community was quick to believe these outrageous claims. The fear of the unknown, the fear of the other, overpowered reason and justice. Every strange behavior, every unexplained event, fed the growing panic. The trials became less about truth and more about maintaining control, with fear being the ultimate weapon. The trials and proceedings were not just a test for the accused, but also a reflection of the society itself. It revealed a community gripped by fear, willing to sacrifice its own in the face of perceived threats. It showed the dangerous potential of unchecked fear and prejudice, and the devastating impact it can have on individuals and communities. The trials, fueled by fear and superstition, led to devastating consequences. The Salem witch trials remain a stark reminder of the destructive power of fear when it's allowed to dictate justice and truth. The Salem witch trials exacted a heavy price, both in lives and in the community's spirit. The chilling echoes of the gallows and the silent, cold stone cells of the prison reverberate with the grim toll of the trials. More than 200 souls were accused, their lives upended by whispers and pointed fingers. The roster of the condemned is a somber record, with 20 names etched in the annals of history. 19 of these individuals met their end on the gallows, their lives cut short by the noose. One man, Giles Corey, suffered a fate unique in its cruelty. Accused of witchcraft, Corey refused to enter a plea. For his defiance, he was pressed to death under heavy stones, a grim testament to the harshness of the times. Yet the trial's impact would extend far beyond the lives tragically lost. In the wake of the trials, the community, and indeed the wider society, were forced to confront their actions. The hysteria that swept through Salem had left a trail of devastation in its wake, prompting a period of deep soul-searching and reflection. The trials were a boiling pot of religious fervor, social tensions and political factors. The Puritan community's intense fear of the devil, coupled with the threat of Native American attacks and existing community disputes, had created a fertile ground for suspicion and fear to thrive. It was a time when the lines between superstition and reality blurred, leading to a wave of unfounded accusations and trials. The aftermath of the trials revealed the inherent dangers of mass hysteria, the abuse of power, and religious intolerance. The community was forced to grapple with the consequences of their actions, leading to significant changes in colonial New England society. Most notably, the trials spurred changes in the legal system. The reliance on spectral evidence and coerced confessions during the trials had proven to be a grave miscarriage of justice. In response, more stringent evidence requirements were implemented in future witchcraft cases, emphasizing the importance of due process and fair trials. But the impact of the Salem witch trials extends beyond the legal reforms. They continue to serve as a potent symbol of the dangers of unchecked fear and prejudice. The trials stand as a stark reminder of how hysteria and fear can lead to devastating consequences, a lesson that continues to resonate in our society today. The Salem witch trials remain an important part of American history, studied and remembered as a chilling example of how mass hysteria and the violation of due process can spiral out of control. They are a testament to the human capacity for fear, prejudice, and the potential for injustice when these emotions are left unchecked. The Salem witch trials serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked fear and prejudice, a lesson that echoes through the centuries.